This idea arrived not as a slogan, but it came out of the margins. Plato's Cratylus showed me that words are tools, and his seventh letter revealed that language, that tool cannot hold the deepest truth. Cassirer showed me that humans live inside symbolic forms, and then the cave changed shape. It was not just shadows on a wall, it was an operating system. Welcome to Map Autopsy. No ivory tower fog here, no guru theater, just the cognitive map on the table. Today we're going to the root, not the shadows, not the fire, not the puppets. We're going after the medium itself. Language, logos. And when I say logos here, I don't mean John's gospel, cosmic logos yet. I don't mean some clean, divine principle wrapped in theology. I mean human logos, language, speech, reason, accounts, categories, the symbol system humans use to build their shared world. Because Plato didn't just describe the cave, he showed you the bars are made of language. Start with the seventh epistle, the one most people skip. And yeah, whether Plato wrote it himself or whether Platonic tradition is just speaking in his voice, the claim is the same, and it's just as brutal. You do not write down the deepest truth. You cannot package ultimate reality into statements like a product. You cannot turn being into a slogan, a creed, a formula, a PDF, or a pinned comment. The deepest truth has to be lived, wrestled for, tested through dialectic, shared through long contact between souls. And then, only then, can something flash. A spark gets kindled in the soul. Plato warns you not to trust writing. In writing, he warns you that. That contradiction is not a mistake. It's a doorway. Now open Cratylus, the dialogue almost nobody ever talks about. Socrates goes into words, names, naming, and language. He shows most people are not allowed to admit that words are not neutral labels. They're tools, instruments, shuttles, blades. They carve experience into pieces that we carry. And once a society shares the same tool set, it starts sharing the same world. That's the operating system. That's the simulation layer. Not reality itself. Not meat. Not being. But the symbolic layer is so pervasive that most people mistake it for reality. The cave is not made of lies alone. It's made of shared language. Names, images, symbols, laws, rituals, money, myths, flags, gods, status, stories. Repeated until they feel like nature. Remember the ancient obsession. Soma, sema. The body as tomb, as sign, as enclosure. And Aristotle later calls the human being a zoon logon ekon, the animal with logos, the animal possessing reason or speech, the language animal. We do not merely use language, we inherit it, we breathe it, we fight through it, we become visible to ourselves through it. Laws are language, nations are language, money's language, status is language, theology is language. Politics is language with weapons behind it. This is why naming matters. Because once you control the names, you control the map. And once you control the map, most people will never reach the actual territory. Now zoom out. In the divided line, there's a hinge. thought through hypothesis, diagrams, models, structured symbols. It is not ignorance. It is intelligent. It is precise. It is useful. But it still operates inside assumptions. That's the cleanest cell in the prison. So bright, so ordered, so mathematically elegant that it feels like freedom. While still running on the inherited premises, though. A lot of people get trapped right there, thinking they escaped the cave because they upgraded to the lighting. And then Parmenides shows you the limits. Push logos hard enough, one in many, participation, likeness, regress, relation, being, non-being, and the machine starts to stutter. The map cannot fully contain what it's trying to map. Wittgenstein later said, "The limits of language are the limits of my world." Plato hits the same wall from another direction. Language can lead the soul towards truth, but at the edge, words can only gesture. They can point, they can prepare, they can wound, they can awaken, but they cannot become the thing itself. So yes, the cave is symbolically mediated all the way down. Not reality, not being, but the human enclosure, the social world, the shared hallucination, the place where names, symbols, stories, rituals, and enforced meanings become so dense that people call them reality. Once you name something, you frame it. Once you frame it, you limit it. And once you inherit the frame, you can spend your entire life defending a cage you never chose. And here's the worst part. You cannot even rebel without using the same operating system. You need language to expose language. You need maps to autopsy maps. You need logos to reveal the limits of logos. Now here's the kill shot. Plato shows you the exit better than almost anyone in history. But maybe worse, he hands you the scalpel to see the bars, and then builds the most beautiful symbolic upgrade to the prison ever created. Forms, eros, divine madness, the ascent of the soul, the philosopher king, the good beyond being. So beautiful you have to ask, did Plato free us? Or did he give you a higher cave? That's why Plato is so dangerous. That's why he inspired so many. And if you go by Gurmerkin's Hellenistic Torah dating, inspired basically all of theology that the Western world uses today. And it's not that Plato's wrong. It's just that he's strong enough to build a prison that feels like liberation. This is the deepest layer. Politics runs on this. Religion runs on this. Afterlife maps run on this. Love stories run on this. Tyranny runs on this. Identity runs on this. Even philosophy runs on this. Language is not reality, but language is the simulation layer through which humans organize, distort reality, worship reality, flee reality, and sometimes, if they're lucky, begin to see through the map. And yeah, I'm trapped too, using words to autopsy words right now. But the map is exposed. This isn't about hate. This is about pattern recognition at the operating system level. So here's the question. What language map are you living inside? What names did you inherit? What symbols did you defend like they were your soul? Drop your operating system below. Give me any worldview. I'll autopsy it live for you. Text stay open. See you on the next dissection.